Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Jessica and this is a Fields Full House. So we are approaching birthday season, y'all. So you know what that means, another birth story. So in the matter of the next 2.5 months, we have 5 birthdays. Yes, 5. So be praying for me. So anyways, I'm going to tell you the birth story today of our oldest daughter, our firstborn. Her name is Taylor. And she is such a blessing. She is so sweet, and she is just your natural firstborn child. You know what I mean? Like, she strives to help me. She sees things that need to be done, and she just does it, like, without me asking. She is that go-getter in our family. So anyways. And she's turning 11. No, she's not. I'm sorry. She's not turning 11. She's turning 12. Oh my goodness. That's like real, y'all. Like pre-teen years. It just makes me so sad. Like it really seems like yesterday that I just had her. So anyways, I'm sorry. I can get all sappy and misty on you. So Taylor, like I said, was our firstborn. We were over the moon excited to have our first baby. And kind of like a secret that I don't really talk about because I kind of feel silly saying it. So my husband and I both, with our first baby, really kind of wanted to have a girl because we just knew that we were going to have all boys, which is hilarious. If you don't know, we have 6 daughters and 2 boys. So we were completely wrong. So I just think that's funny. So we really were we wouldn't have been disappointed if we were having a boy by any means, but it's like if you could have had a preference, we kind of wanted to have a girl. So anyways, let me get to the birth story. I was 1 week past my due date. Classic first time mom syndrome. We did everything. We walked, we ate spicy food, we did everything, y'all, to get this baby out. And nothing was working. So anyways, I went to my routine appointment and they did a non-stress test because, I was getting later in the pregnancy and everything was fine. And my midwife said to me, I have a feeling that you'll be going into labor tonight. I still don't know how they can tell this stuff. I wasn't dilated, nothing. So anyways, sure enough, I woke up at 1 o'clock in the morning with a contraction. And I was like, this is it. I just can't believe it. So kind of a side note, as a first time mom, I didn't do any birthing classes. I don't know what the heck I was thinking. I didn't do anything. I just looked at it as God made my body to birth the baby, and that's just what's gonna happen. Honestly, that is what has happened. But it's just funny how naive I was. Anyway, and my desire was to have a natural delivery with no medication. I think one of my kids is at the door, sorry. So anyways, I had my first contraction at 1 a.m. I did not wake up my husband because I thought, as a sweet wife that I was, I would not do this now, y'all. I let him sleep because he would need his sleep. I don't know what that was about. So anyways, I called my mom. What daughter doesn't call her mom? So I called my mom, and at the time we were actually living in a different state. My family's from Florida. My husband and I had moved to Georgia. We lived there for almost 6 years, and now we live back in Florida. So side note there. My mom was in Florida. We were in Georgia. So I called my mom and we talked, and she timed my contractions, and we talked, I think, until 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. So about that time is whenever I woke up my husband. I was like, I've been having contractions since 1 a.m. They're getting stronger. This is it. And he was like, okay. So he starts scrambling, like any first time dad would. So what are you doing? I'll be out in a minute. Okay, sorry. So anyways, he starts getting everything ready. I had a dear sweet friend that, we had called and said, this is it, this is baby time. And we didn't have this planned or anything, but she ended up coming over to our house, and she actually was an LPN, which I'm so thankful that she ended up coming over. She just really helped me. Like I said, we didn't do any birthing classes. So my husband didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do. And then about 11 o'clock in the morning, she said, I think it's time that you head to the hospital. I was like, are you sure? I really want to do a lot of this labor at home. She's like, I think that you're getting close enough that you need to head to the hospital. So we did. We got to the hospital at noon, and I just knew I was going to be 5, 6, 7 centimeters dilated, right? I was 2. 2. I was like, I have been laboring all these hours and I'm only 2 centimeters dilated. So, and I remember saying to my midwife, just tell me I'm 8 centimeters. I don't care what I really am. Just tell me that I'm 8 because I can keep my eye on the prize. So anyways, I got my room and all that. I was obviously in active labor. And plus I was just over a week late anyway. So, I really did not expect, the pressure that you would feel and the urge that you just had to use the bathroom. I mean, TMI here, but that's what happened. So, I felt like I just had to go to the bathroom. And I was not going to make a mess on myself in this hospital bed in front of all these people because that's gross. So, I constantly was going back and forth to the bathroom, back and forth, back and forth. I can't even tell you how many times that happened. And now, mind you, a lot of this time, I'm having very active contractions, very strong contractions. I can barely walk through them. So my husband is like practically dragging me to the bathroom and back and forth. I know I was annoying everybody, but I couldn't help it. So I had said that our dear sweet friend had showed up at my house. Well, she followed us to the hospital as well. She also, now she kind of has had her own photography business, but she was more of a, I don't want to say amateur because she was good, but, a photographer. She had an awesome camera, so that ended up being a huge blessing to us. So more on that in a minute. But so anyway, she was right there too by my bedside between my husband and her. Like they were dragging me back and forth to the bathroom like 1,000 times. And I just had this, like my body was pushing, bearing down, and I couldn't control this. I also could not talk during this, okay? And they kept, like, the nurse would come in and say, well, this is her first baby. Like, there's no way that she's progressed that much and whatever. And I was like, this baby is coming. And this baby is coming now. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, I think nurses today are just so used to people having medication during labor that they don't know really how to handle unmedicated births anymore. And this is just my personal opinion. I could be 100% wrong. But this has been my experience. If a mother that's in labor and says the baby's coming, you might want to check her. So anyways, they finally checked me and they say, oh dear God, she's crowning. Hello, people. And it was 3-something p.m. So I'd only been there 3 hours. And she was crowning. Not, I was 10 centimeters. She was crowning. So anyways, they, rushed and called the midwife and, the whole shebang and whatever. And my body was naturally doing, I know what it was now. It was bearing down and my body was birthing the baby. But in this, because I didn't know what was happening and the nurses really weren't helping with this, I was kind of keeping it from happening by being so tense and whatever else you want to call it, that I really think that caused my recovery to be kind of bad. So anyways, the midwife comes in, the nurses, they're all ready and they say push. And I just remember saying, I am not pushing for 2 hours, people. And they were like, yeah, okay, this is your first time baby. You're going to be pushing for a long time. I was like, no, y'all didn't hear me. I couldn't talk during labor, but I was saying this, I am not pushing for 2 hours. My cousin had a baby the year before and she pushed for 2 hours and it scared the living daylights out of me, okay? So anyways, I pushed for 15 minutes and our sweet baby was here. And I was like, I told you. I don't know if it was me. I don't know, honestly. It could be the fact that I was bearing down for an hour and had no clue. So anyways, now looking back, I know what that urge was and that surge that was happening. It was my body's natural way of doing this. Well, I ended up with a 4th-degree tear. And I really think it was because of all the bearing down and I couldn't control it. And if the nurses would have checked me sooner, they would have seen, that I was getting closer and then I could have been pushing instead of holding it. I don't know how to describe it. So anyways, again, I could be wrong. That's just my perception on it. So anyways, our sweet baby was born and she was 7 pounds, 13 ounces, which is pretty good for being a week late. I thought, so she was almost 8 pounds. And she honestly was the best baby. She pretty much slept through the night, like right away. Like we brought her home from the hospital and she's sleeping 5 or 6 hours. But I was gonna say, we always joke that she was such an easy baby that we thought that we could just do this, and we just kept on having them. So anyways, that is the birth story of our daughter, Taylor Ann. We actually named her Taylor. It is the middle name of my dad, and Ann is the name of my dad's mom, so my paternal grandmother. It is the middle name of my mom's mom, my maternal grandmother, and it's my mom's middle name. So we just like banged 4 people out with 1 baby. So anyways, that was, I mean, honestly, for a first baby, like, I think it was kind of a picture perfect birth. I didn't end up with medication. And I really, besides a 4th degree tear, yes, I hurt, but I really kind of bounced back pretty quickly. Now, nursing, on the other hand, was a total nightmare. So, but that's, you know, a whole nother subject. So anyways, again, that was Taylor Ann's birth story. I hope that you enjoyed. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up, and I would love to have you subscribe along to our channel. Thanks.